dance portion. All right.
I know, I'm a total country music girl. All right, we're getting ready for a show. We're in the video. You can wave.
Oh,
Say hi,
okay.
people.
I am. Nicely aligned with
I
this.
know. Good morning. It's Nicole Mangina with Windermere Real Estate, and this is the 425 Show, your place to be for all things lifestyle and real estate related here on the East Side. And we've got an amazing guest with us, Julie Arnan. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks
I know.
for having me.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you here. Julie is, I don't know, we got some camera issues going here. You can see like the big line things, but it's all right on our Facebook Live. But Julie is a food, wine, and travel writer for the likes of 425 Magazine, Seattle, the Alaska Airlines publications, and several other ones. So there is a good chance that at some point you have either seen or read one of her articles. And if nothing else, I totally encourage you to follow her on Instagram. I know. You are my daily inspiration because you take, first of all, you have the coolest job ever because you get to travel and eat amazing food and drink wine.
I can't deny that.
Yeah,
that's
is my
the truth
vision of
right
you.
There.
It's like 4-star dinners every night, amazing
night.
wines, first class travel. I'm sure this is totally
First class. Did you hear that?
Yeah, this is my vision. And you take these really amazing pictures along the way. So I love watching your Instagram feed. I'm always inspired about some place to go or something to do. So thanks for joining us today.
I am happy to be here this morning.
Yeah. And thanks for letting us flip the script on you a little bit because I know you're usually the one doing the interview.
Right. So it's a little different being on the other side.
I know.
But,
We get to ask the questions.
My kids were like, "You're gonna feel what it's like, Mom." So
you're
gonna get the empathy now.
Oh, I'm sure you're lovely when you're interviewing people. So how did you get into this?
Into writing?
Yeah, into writing and then into the whole food and wine travel aspect of it.
My whole career started, after I had my third child. I decided let's do something more challenging, like start a food blog. So in 2008, I started a cooking blog called Julie Jams, and my very first thing that I did was make jam from strawberries and made a video. So long story short, I ended up writing for a local online newspaper, and then I wrote their food and dining column for a long time, and then met somebody from the magazine and started a relationship with 425 Magazine, and have been writing for their publication for a long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And you're in every magazine. So tell me, kind of, how do you pick the places that you go and take a, interview and things like that?
It's kind of a combination of people that reach out to me saying, "Hey, this new one is opening up. Come check it out." And also balanced with some of the stuff that I am interested in, especially the growers and the farmers.
Yes.
I like to highlight some of them as well, not just like fancy restaurants.
Right. Yeah, you do. You kind of encompass the whole part. Like you're right. It's not just the food, but it's how does it get there and all of that. Because we have some really amazing farms here.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the most interesting things about the 425 area is we have restaurants, but we also have a huge growing population. Right. And out in the Snohomish Valley especially, out in the Snoqualmie Valley is where most of the stuff is grown. So
yeah, it's great. I know I was at Little Brother downtown Kirkland, and they specialize in farm to table. And I remember, I was there the other day, and when we ordered, they said, everything comes within, I forget what the mile radius is, but it's really small. So it was kind of, I think someone wanted avocados, and they said, well, you can't get those within 50 miles of Seattle.
What? Those don't grow here.
Yeah, no avocado toast for you.
Yeah, they've done a great job of making relationships with the farmers. Yes. And really highlighting local produce. Yeah,
and it was an amazing meal. It was really fun. So I love that we have that option here. I think that's so cool.
We grow a lot of great stuff here.
We do. I know. Do you do those farm boxes that you get delivered to your house?
Like a CSA box? Yeah, I've done those in the past.
Yeah, those are kind of fun because there's always something random in there. I'm like, what do I do with that?
Right, like I never would have bought kohlrabi. However, what do I do with that?
Yeah, turns out it's not so bad.
Right, and then you can, be creative and invent ways to eat that vegetable.
Right. Perfect. So tell me about some of your projects that you've got coming up that you're working on.
So being in print, I have to work a couple months ahead usually. So I've already done most of my July work, and I'm working on the Sip and Savor column for August for 425 Magazine. And the things that are coming up, there's a lot of events happening in the summer. Woodinville's doing a wine boot camp.
Oh, what is that?
Yeah, it's, I think, a great educational event happening at the beginning of June.
Okay.
June 8th, I think.
Okay.
And there's also a rosé party on the 8th, which is in conjunction with that. But there's seminars you can go to if you want to get nerdy about wine. You can.
I like it.
Learn how to smell the aromas, learn about the AVAs. So I just wrote about that. There are some festivals like Summerfest in Kirkland.
Great.
That's in August. And then also a couple other things happening throughout Woodinville.
Okay.
And the Snoqualmie Valley.
Got it. And I know you were just talking about the Rosé Fest. It's interesting. I went to a rosé tasting the other day, and I love that there's so many events out there that you can go try different things. In all honesty, I love wine, but I tend to be a red girl. White, usually it's too much sugar for me, and it usually gives me a headache. So I tend to stick with just red. But I got invited to this rosé tasting, and I thought, oh, let's go check it out. I really enjoyed it, right? Because of course there are whites and rosés that aren't super sweet and won't give you a headache, right?
There's whites and rosés that are bone dry.
Yes, and so I found some that were really good, and it was fun to just be in an environment to try things that I wouldn't try normally, and to be in a tasting environment so I didn't have to commit to, gosh, I'm going to get a whole glass of something.
Yeah, I think
try the different
I think that's the
things.
great part about going to a wine tasting is that you may say, oh, I hate this varietal, or I never drink this, but if it's available to you, then, oh, I might change my mind.
Yeah, it's good. It's fun to try and do something different. So this boot camp, like, what's this, the wine boot camp?
So they're just offering seminar classes, like 2 or 3 on a Friday and 2 or 3 on the Saturday.
Got it.
And just like different topics, maybe you didn't know about the growing region of different varietals in Washington State, or maybe you don't know what wine is supposed to smell like, and so they kind of give you those. Oh, there's even like a varietal specific glass demonstration.
Oh,
so
fun.
like which glass to drink this varietal out of. It's very, specific.
Which is fascinating. I have a brother-in-law that is super into wine, but not just wine, the technology and things behind it. And he can tell you, the different grapes based on different elevations and sun and soil acidity and all of that and how it affects. I mean, you can get into
endless amounts of things to learn about wine, which is why I like it.
Yeah, because you took your sommelier test, right?
I took the level 1 introduction class for the Quartermaster Sommeliers in October. So
this is something you're into.
Yeah, you could say that. It's a true love. I mean, I love food, and I did get into writing through food. But once I discovered the wine industry, it was like, oh, this is my home. These are my people.
That's funny, because you were just in Walla Walla, right?
I was in Walla. Where have I been? I've been everywhere recently. I was in Walla Walla in April, I believe. Okay. So, yeah.
Which was just a month ago. I know it feels like that was probably last year. But it's May 15th, so.
This is true.
It was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was there, and I got to stay at a really awesome place, the Abeja Inn, if you've never stayed there.
It's on my list. Every time I go to Walla Walla, I look it up, and it's usually booked.
Need to go.
But it looked amazing before, and then I saw your Instagram pictures, and
highly recommend staying there.
See, you do some first class travel. That looks like a first class place.
That was first class for sure.
It looked like they had a great breakfast and
one of the best I've ever had.
Really?
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, public service announcement while we're on Breakfast and Wine, tomorrow, May 16th, is National Mimosa Day. Just saying.
Just for all of you to know.
Yes. And we recently found out via Benny, our awesome engineer, there's a Manmosa.
Well, it's my version of it.
So okay.
I'm not a huge champagne fan, so I kind of went with like a lighter beer.
Okay.
And some vodka on the top there.
With some orange juice.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Oh, is there orange juice in your Manmosa?
A little, just a splash.
Gotta make it.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There's all different kinds of mimosas.
Uh-huh.
All right, that's our public service announcement. If you want to spend your Wednesday trying mimosa, I think you should.
Trying a variety of styles would be the best, most effective way to find out what you
totally could, right? Try champagne, prosecco, pulp, no pulp. The options are endless.
Pulp, no pulp.
Just
I hadn't thought about that option.
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Let me know when I want to be a guinea pig for all that.
Okay. So perfect. So the wines. So when you were there, do you go over and watch the different stages of the wines being made and all of that?
For the past 4 years or so. I've
Okay.
done quite a bit of wine travel in the Pacific Northwest, and yes, I've seen
Got
a
it.
lot of different stages of the wine.
I bet.
You know, it's interesting because we think of wine as like this romantic product that we enjoy drinking,
Right.
but most of it is farming
Uh-huh.
and cleaning.
Yeah.
And waiting and stirring. And
Yeah.
So,
It's the not so sexy part of.
yeah, but it makes a great product.
It sure does. Perfect. Okay, so let's cycle back to food a little bit.
Sure.
Are there any upcoming food events that we should know about, or some of your favorite places? I don't know. Can you have a favorite place when you write for?
You
something
know, you
like a
can't ask
magazine?
about favorite children and whatnot. But,
Okay.
I do have some. I mean, you mentioned Little Brother earlier,
Yeah.
and I love what Chef Jamie and Jordan are doing with both of the restaurants, Taru Market
Yes.
and Little Brother. I love that they promote local produce and make really fresh dishes that just have so much flavor. So
They do.
shout out to them.
Yes, and the most amazing cakes. In fact, I was telling you
Oh,
guys.
the cakes.
Today is my dad's 80th birthday, and I got him a Daru cake for his birthday.
Which one?
The carrot cake. I don't
Oh,
know,
of course.
I don't know what I'm
That's
more
what-
excited about, the fact that it's his birthday or the fact that I get to eat Daru cake.
You got a whole cake.
A whole
too.
cake.
Oh,
I know.
they're substantial.
I know. It's funny. I got the carrot cake. It's my dad's favorite cake of all times. I will tell you, growing up, my mom was like, you know, if you ever want to impress a guy, you make him carrot cake. For the record, I've never known anybody who
Really?
likes carrot cake
That's
other than
the
my
secret?
dad. So,
I like it. I'm in.
okay.
Really?
See?
Seriously?
Yes.
I-
Or everybody's like, eh.
We must be limited then.
I
It's
think
the
so.
cream cheese frosting
Right?
that really takes it
I know.
to the
I think
next
carrot
level.
cake's amazing. And Daru cake, doesn't matter what it is.
It
It's all
doesn't
amazing.
really matter.
So I get to have Daru cake tonight. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah, lucky you.
I know.
Happy birthday.
I'll bring you some leftovers because the cake's so big. I think we'll have extras.
So one of the other things that's cool is I feel like Bellevue has exploded in recent months
Yes.
in terms of the dining scene. So we have some Seattle chefs finally kind
Yes.
of looking this way over here.
Yes.
Jason Wilson opened Lake House a year ago.
Mhm.
And I hear that Tom Douglas is doing a partnership with Nordstrom.
Nordstrom,
Mhm,
yeah.
Opening up a place in
Exactly.
there. So we are finally starting to get a little visibility over here.
We are.
But it's
okay.
nice though that there's chefs like Jamie and Jordan, and then like Bobby Moore down at Barking Frog that have made the
Yes.
East Side their home and are doing such a great job here.
It's amazing. I love Barking Frog. Speaking of that, over in Woodinville, that's just such a beautiful area. It feels like you're a whole world away to be over there.
It does. Or Holly Smith at Cafe Juanita. Let's
Yes.
not forget Cafe Juanita.
Yes, I know. And that place has been around for a long, like way before any of this other stuff. She was really a pioneer. So I love that.
Have you ever sat on the patio back behind Cafe Juanita?
No.
Oh, well, there's a hidden gem.
Yeah,
right
it's been
there.
forever since I've been there. I need to go.
And it's almost patio season. I mean,
It depends
is
on the day. It was
already?
yesterday. I don't know about today. Tomorrow, I think, is supposed to be patio day.
So there's a few nice patios to go
Yeah.
hang out on.
So
Eat some good food.
yeah, totally. And it's downtown Bellevue, like you were saying. It's funny, you know. 20 years ago, that place was a ghost town after about 7:30, right? It was just tumbleweeds going down Bellevue Way. There was
Maybe blueberry bushes.
Oh, there
right?
you go.
Like-
Yeah, blueberry bushes, much more local. But but really, there was nothing going on, right? And now we've had all of this building and construction, and you know, I know everybody has their pluses and minuses about the growth, but the reality is, it's brought that critical mass in that brings us restaurants and shops and all kinds of really great things that we so needed. So yeah, I love Lake House. That's one of my favorite places. They're
It's
good.
so pretty in there too.
It is. I know. I just love it. That living wall or whatever with the plants that they have.
Yeah.
They have great food. So I love that old Main area, downtown Bellevue too.
Right? Have you been to Peony Kitchen over there?
Yes, love that place.
Yeah, they also have excellent cocktails, by the way.
All right, I've only been there for lunch,
Well,
so
the lunch is good too.
I'll have to go later and mix in a cocktail.
After the 7 p.m. that you're allowed to be out now.
Yes, right? Yeah, Cantonetta is one of our favorites over there.
Right.
I love Italian food, so we do a lot at Cantonetta.
And there's the Mercato Stellina, the little pizza.
Yeah, I haven't been there either.
It's a great spot.
See, this is why I love knowing you and following you. I'm like, oh, new place to go, new place to check out.
Julie's out again.
I know. I'm like, phew, how does she do that? That's amazing. So what are some of your travel things? Because you've been on some pretty neat trips lately.
I have been busy this year. I got to go to Havana in September, so that was a really exciting experience. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, and it was just a wonderful place to visit.
Everybody, I've only heard good things about
I felt
Havana.
Super safe.
Yeah.
It was, culturally speaking, there was so much music and art everywhere. It was just beautiful. So.
That's awesome.
So I enjoyed going there. And then I went to Barcelona in March.
Okay.
So I had a little Spanish excursion.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. And then I've done a lot of regional travel. So
okay.
I've been to California a couple of times this year, the Central Coast area, which Alaska Airlines flies directly to Santa Barbara and San Luis Obispo now.
They do.
So you can get a nice little weekend getaway.
Yes.
In wine country that's not Napa and crowded.
Yes.
So,
yeah, Gary and I have done that Santa Barbara flight a couple times, and it's worth going just because that Santa Barbara airport,
exactly.
It looks like a movie set.
And you get off the plane and you're like, vacation!
Oh my goodness, it's warm. Your car's right there. There's like 3 gates in the whole airport. It's a tiny little thing, but just a beautiful little stucco building. Yeah, you just feel
with
like you're...
some murals,
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like, oh, I'm just on vacation.
I know. So yeah, and it's a short flight and everything. I love when we travel, especially if we go for a short time. I don't mind getting on an airplane to go somewhere, but I want minimal kind of hassle once I get someplace. So when you get off a plane, your car's right there, and then you're right in the middle of town. I always love that because then I don't feel like I'm wasting precious time.
Right, when the airport's like 40 minutes away from
Right, exactly. So I know we didn't do any wine tasting when we were down there, though.
Yeah, well, you have to, Santa Barbara has some, but the county in general is where it's at. So the Santa Ynez Valley.
Okay.
Not very far, maybe 40 minutes.
Okay, so you could totally stay in Santa Barbara and then...
You could, yeah.
Or you could stay out there.
There are like 5 or 6 little towns out there that you could stay in, like Solvang, which looks like windmills. It's kind of like Leavenworth, but all grown up. Way more of it.
Okay.
Some Danish immigrants started that town. So.
I love it. And they have wineries out there?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a type of wine that's that they do more of in that area?
That's a good question because my perception of that area was all based on Sideways, the movie, which was filmed there, and all he talks about is Pinot Noir. However, there's not that much Pinot Noir in the Santa Ynez Valley. There is some, but it's mostly, there's Sauvignon Blanc, there's more of the warmer varieties.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Who knew?
I know.
I didn't.
Cool. Where else? You have a Park City article coming up too, don't you?
I do. Yeah. Last summer, I took my kids to Park City on a big road trip. We drove. Yes.
How long did that take?
A long time.
Like maybe you would fly next time.
Well, it's always nice to fly, but we had fun.
Okay.
Seeing like the Oregon Trail things on the way down and finding little weird kitschy places to stop.
Those are fun.
But yeah, so Park City. I love to ski, so it's great in the winter.
Right.
But it has a whole summer culture that's really fun, especially for kids. There's
awesome.
There's the Utah Olympic Park, so you can go bobsledding or you can go the ropes course. Yeah.
Even in the summer, you can do the bobsled.
Yes, I think so.
Maybe.
I think it's open in the summer.
All right.
But yeah, mountain biking.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to mountain bike.
Well, there's a good reason for that.
I would actually rather ride uphill than downhill.
Yeah. You're riding uphill and you're thinking this is really hard, and then you ride downhill and you're like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. I'd actually rather have it be difficult and ride uphill.
I can understand that.
I remember I did it once like years ago. I went mountain biking in Colorado down the mountain, and I like a huge bruise.
Did you take the lift up and then ride down?
Yeah.
You think that's gonna be really
You're
awesome.
like, oh, it's so pretty, and check out this view, and I feel like I'm in the Sound of Music, and then you go down and you hit a rock, and it's not that great.
And you're like, I could actually fly over my handlebars.
Yeah.
And, like over a cliff.
Things could happen.
Definitely.
Perfect. And yeah, I know I have not been to Park City, and that is definitely on my list of places to be. I've heard it's beautiful, and then if you're into being active, and I think there's lots of good hiking and stuff around there.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff
great
as well.
hiking, and you can go out a little further into the Uinta Mountains, and you're starting your hike at like 10,000 feet, so you are going to be sucking a little wind there.
Oh, wow. That's all right. I like hikes where I feel like I've worked a lot, even if I haven't, because then I can get dessert afterwards.
Why else go hiking? No,
I know.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that was my whole goal.
Actually go hiking.
When I was younger, I wanted to be like 6 feet tall, and the only reason I wanted to be that tall was so I could eat more. That was my whole mission in life.
I think I wrote something similar, but it wasn't to eat more. It was because I really wanted to be able to pick peaches.
I like it.
I think I was first grade. I was like, I just really want to be able to pick my own peaches.
I think that's a noble cause. Totally worth being taller for.
Right.
I love it. What else do you have that you're working on?
So in August we have the Auction of Washington Wines,
Yes.
which is a lot events throughout the area.
Yes.
But they hold their big picnic at Chateau Saint Michel on the grounds there.
Yeah, I
Have
saw
ever
you.
been?
I think
Oh, yeah.
I was there last year. I don't know if I saw you or we were. Anyway, same place. I don't know if we actually connected. And then I'm going again this year. That was so much fun.
Yeah, picnic is pretty fun. And then they have the fancier events,
Right.
the gala, and they have all these winemaker dinners throughout the region. And then there's the private barrel auction as well, which is kind of like a lesser known way that they raise money for
Right.
Washington State University's science.
I
wine
think,
science
did they do that
programs.
as part of the picnic last year, I think, right? They were auctioning off.
That's separate from the private barrel auction,
Okay.
but that is
part of it.
It is an auction.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I actually bought a case of wine. I think you get it like sometime this year.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Because you're buying kind of the future.
I know. I bought some wine I'll get this year. I'm like, oh, okay.
Isn't that
Someday
nice?
it'll show up. It'll be like a fun little present.
Right. You
Like,
forgot all
oh
about
my
it.
goodness. That's so exciting. But that was a really fun event last year. I enjoyed it. It was fun to try all of those different wines. And then, they had lots of great food and fun games and stuff like that. They had a great turnout last year. So
Yeah, they do attract quite a few.
yeah. And I think it's in conjunction with the Washington State wine program or something
It
as
is,
well.
yeah. They're the beneficiary of the
Some of the funds.
auction proceeds.
And then the charity is Children's Hospital, I think. Do they tie it into something? I don't know. We'll get the notes. We'll put them in the show notes.
Right.
So perfect. Awesome. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun things coming up and great new restaurants. I think there's a couple new restaurants coming up. I can't remember their names, but
Well, Ascend is maybe going to open, finally.
what's Ascend?
Ascend is the steakhouse, seafood steakhouse that's going at the top of the Lincoln Center.
Oh,
The new expansion.
fancy.
Right. Well, it's been on the radar for a while, but
Okay.
waiting, anticipating.
All right. Well, it's on the radio now, so hopefully that means it's for real, right?
It's coming for real.
It's on Facebook. Anything you hear on Facebook, it's always true. So perfect. There's all kinds of stuff coming up. I'm so excited. See, again, we'll put it in the show notes, NicoleMangina /podcast. We'll have Julie's, the link to her Instagram account, because I'm telling you, you want to follow this thing for sure. And then I always have fun when I get my magazines. I go through and I find your article. I'm like, oh, yay.
I've met her.
I know famous people.
Right.
Perfect.
Well, you're the one that's making me famous. Thank you.
I know. Yes, I know. Julie has agreed to be interviewed and then also be on our video today because we're on Facebook Live. So we're doing all kinds of new things with Julie today. But I wanted to, before we wrap up the show, do our little real estate update. And this week's question is it worth it to stage your home, right? And staging could be anything from, just working with what you have, but doing the standard declutter, right? Because how you live in a house and how you sell it, it's always two different things. So it could be working with what you have and decluttering things, or it could be you totally move out and you bring furniture in. Either way, even in this market, things move quickly and they sell for great prices, but staging, even in this market, will on average bring you 5 to 10% more in your final sales price than not staging. Because the reality is, everybody thinks they have more creative juice than they do. Meaning, if you go in and things are really cluttered, Jen, my assistant, and I were out, we were previewing houses the other day, and it was night and day, right? We went into all these houses, they were beautiful and pristine, and then we went into one, and it was like a 3,000 square foot house, and there's just this little path. Like you cannot, it's like the yellow brick road. You cannot get off the yellow brick road because there's so much stuff in this house. You know, and it's just everywhere to the point that you can't, you know, buyers can't envision their things there. They can't get a feel for it. When homes are vacant, oddly enough, the rooms look smaller. Everybody assumes like, oh, I should get all my furniture out. It will make the house look bigger. It actually makes it look smaller. So having the furniture in, bedrooms are the classic example. People come in and they're like, oh, I could never get my king size bed in there. Oh, you totally can. So, you know, when you've got that in there, color is always a big thing, especially that first impressions, right? You get your plants out front, you make sure the bark's all pretty. It creates that emotional bond, right? People with all buying decisions, but gosh, especially when it comes to houses, it's you make your buying decision emotionally and then you justify it with logic, right? And that staging is really what appeals to the emotional side of people of, you know, gosh, I could envision myself living here. I can see, look how this furniture fits. This is really how I could see myself living. So it gives people a sense of space. It creates that emotional connection. And just gives them an idea of, okay, this is a life that I would live here. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on staging. We've got a great chart with some phenomenal statistics from the National Association of Realtors. That'll be on my website later today, NicoleMangina/podcast, which will have the recording of the show along with the chart and all the links to Julie's stuff. Julie, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I mentioned Instagram, but are there other ways for people to track you down if they want to follow you or know more about what you do?
Well, I'm on the Facebook as well.
Yes,
But
okay.
Instagram is my favorite social media platform because I get to put pictures up. And
Have you taken photography classes?
well, art is my background.
Okay, that makes
Before
sense.
the writing.
Because you take all your own pictures.
I
don't
do,
you?
yeah.
Yeah, and they're amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always fun watching those. So thank you for being here. I'll be watching for your future episodes. I'll see you tomorrow at the Best of
That's
425
right.
party.
We're going to be all dressed up for the best.
I know. Yeah, we were just comparing outfits before.
Making
before the
sure
show
we didn't
started.
overlap.
I know. So.
Like, you shop there? Oh, shoot. I shop there, too.
I know. Perfect. So Julie's got the dress. I need to up my game. I'm going to figure something out between now and tomorrow.
Well, you know a good place.
I do. Via Lago, downtown Kirkland. Chapman, I'm coming to see you. So anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of the 425 Show. We will see you again next week. Take care.
Bye.
Perfect. Nice job.
Yay. I can't reach it.